Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Place Academy for Civil Services. This is a video on daily news and editorial analysis which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express. So the most important news and editorial would be discussed in this session. Let's get started with today's topic list. Today is 20th of November. The first topic is Prime Minister announces the repealment of farm law which was recently passed by the parliament. Second, indigenous chopper drone has been handed over to the armed forces. Third is High Court Press Center on Uniform Civil Code, which is a long debated issue and still ongoing because still the government do not have any uniform civil code. Apart from this, US expand COVID booster shoots for all adults. And the last is an editorial that time for a climate tax. So this is an editorial from the Indian Express. Apart from this, at the end of this video, there would be some MCQ based questions, and these questions would be based on current affairs to help you in the upcoming prelims examination. If you want to practice a lot more questions, we have test series for you, a dedicated test series where you will be getting 60 high quality tests, right? Apart from this, you will be also availing the IAS gazetted 12-month subscription at an affordable price. For more details, you can refer to the description section of this video. मैंने इस वीडियो के डिस्क्रिप्शन में लिंक दिया हुआ है, आप वहां पे जाकर रजिस्टर कर सकते हैं एंड यू कैन टेक द बेनिफिट ऑफ दैट. So without any further delay, let's get started. And those of you who are new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Place Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, helpful, and if you find this video to help you in some another way also, do give the like button. So starting with the first news, that is PM Modi announced repeal of farm law, something which is important for General Studies paper 2. Government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors. Also, it is important for General Studies paper 3, where farms issues, farmer issues related to minimum support price are concerned. Now we'll understand this news. Basically, what actually government has decided, वो तो कल आपको पता ही चल गया होगा. Basically in morning, the Prime Minister has addressed the nation. But before that, we have also discussed about the 3 farms law in detail. I think most of you must be aware about the provisions of the farm law. Now, in this particular news, we are mostly concerned about what government has decided and what is their future roadmap in terms of farm welfare. So the Prime Minister has recently announced that the Union government will constitutionally repeal the 3 farm law which was passed by the parliament in the monsoon session, that is on 2020, right? So a year before this was being passed, और किसी भी law को लाने के लिए parliament से pass होना पड़ता है, and after it is being passed by the parliament, an ordinance or a bill has been passed, it has to give a precedent assent, then it become a bill, right? तो उसको उसी तरह से basically अगर आपको repeal करना है, cancel करना है, then also a bill has to be passed in parliament, then only it is considered that the bill has finally been cancelled, finally have been repealed. So this is the actual procedures. This can be an important segment for your prelims examination. They can ask you about the formation of law and the repealment of law. तो आपको basics आप लक्ष्मीकांत के बुक से भी डिटेल में पढ़ सकते हैं. Now, for this particular farm law which was passed by the parliament, the farmer community was protesting for this particular 3 bill. The 3 bill states in this particular manner. The first was the Farm Produce Trade and Commerce. This is Promotions and Facilitation Act 2020. The second was Farmer Empowerment and Protection Agreement for Price Assurance and Farm Services Act 2020. This was the second bill. And the third bill, that was the controversial bill, the most controversial bill among all 2, was the Essential Commodities Act Amendment, basically Essential Commodities Amendment Act 2020, right? So because of which the farmers were protesting against these 3 farm laws, and they were there, this is called as a resident protesting, जहाँ पे farmers ने almost Delhi NCR के borders पे they have taken the place over there. They were not going anywhere. They were just simply stuck over there and protesting peacefully. In course of that, बहुत सारी events हुई. Many of you must be aware about the Red Fort events that have also took place. So this sort of consequences and event although has happened in the entire year, but finally the farmer community are a bit convinced that finally this has been repealed by the government. Although Supreme Court की अगर बात करें, Supreme Court has also intervened in this matter, and the Supreme Court has categorically said that for time being, this particular laws, all these 3 laws are not going to be implemented. तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने इस पे स्टे लगा दिया था. Now, formation of committees की बात की गई है. Prime Minister, when he was addressing to the nation yesterday morning, he said that the committee would also be formed with the representations from the central as well as the state government. तो दोनों तरफ से representations होंगी जो कि फार्मर के कुछ बहुत ही important issues को ध्यान में रखेंगे, and they would be accordingly making some recommendations to both the center as well as to the state government. So which are the issues upon which the committee would be looking into? The first is जीरो बजट फार्मिंग, टू इंश्योर कि फार्मर की बजट जो लागत है वो कम से कम हो एंड दे मेक मोर प्रॉफिट. नाउ द अदर इज द इश्यूज ऑफ फर्टिलाइजर्स, एंड थर्ड इज द चेंज इन द क्रॉप पैटर्न, and the most important which still the farmer is demanding and they were demanding prior with the protest started, जब से उन्होंने protest start की थी तब से डिमांड थी, that was about the minimum support price. The MSP guarantee law is being demanded by the farmer community. So this is still not passed. Let's see what would be the government take in this regard, because this would be something which is very important. And apart from all these four issues, some important issues that is related to farm welfare. In fact, the doubling of farm income is something which is also a very significant point for Government of India also. So these points, these themes or these issues would be taken into consideration before this committee. Now this is an infograph which is there in today's newspaper. You can see the old man, the joy over his face after the repealment of the farm bill. And these are the sequence of event that has actually happened. On 15th September, 3 farm bill was passed by the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha by the voice vote, right? And these are again the consequences of event that took place till October 2021, 2022. The Supreme Court has observed that the right to proceed is there and Supreme Court has blocked it intent. बहुत समय तक Supreme Court ने कहा कि ये लॉ अभी implement नहीं होंगे. Now moving to the second news, that is indigenous chopper drone handed over to armed forces. This is something which is important for your general studies paper 3, achievement of Indian scientists in technology, Indianizations, technology development and the new technology. So what has advanced in terms of armed forces, how the drone technology is going to help our paramilitary, we'll see this in the news. So to boost the Make in India initiative and technology, the Prime Minister has recently handed over 2 indigenously developed drone. ये 2 drone हैं. The first drone is named as Switch 1.0 UAV, which is being developed by Idea Forge Technologies. And the second is MR20, which is developed by Ramp MPV. This is an Indian, this would be given to Indian Defence Forces on the occasions of Rashtriya Raksha Samarpan Parv, which was organized in Jhansi and Uttar Pradesh. Now, बात करें drone industry की, we are still working on developing a cutting edge technology compared to other countries like China and US. We do not have such level of advancement. Even the Israel and Germany have such level of advancement. If you can talk about Russia, they also got very good drone technology. तो इंडिया अपने एंड पे टेक्नोलॉजी इंप्रूव कर रही है, अपने कैपेबिलिटीज को इंप्रूव कर रही है, जहाँ पे हमारे आर्म फोर्सेस के लिए ये बहुत ही ज़रूरी है. द यूएवी टेक्नोलॉजी इज़ वेरी मच एसेंशियल्स considering the fact that we have the border, the terrain region, which is very tough for the human to sustain over that particular area, right? इस वजह से UAV टेक्नोलॉजी, जो ड्रोन टेक्नोलॉजी है, that is essentially required in our paramilitary and armed forces. So let's see what is Switch 1.0 UAV. You can see the image over here. So this have an endurance of approximately 90 minutes. इसकी जो total running capacity है 90 minutes की है, and it will support the Indian armed most demanding surveillance operations in any harsh environment, high altitude वाले regions में. Even it can function in day and night surveillance across India and its border, right? So you can see the advancement and the level of upgradation of technology that we can see in the drones. Now the second is MR20 Hexa drones. This is Hexa chopper drones. This is the image of this drone. This is the shape of the particular drone, and it is having a capacity to ferry load of up to 20 kg, and it can be used as a ferry food, essential items, emergency medicine aid, ammunitions, weapons to troop deployments, at a heights in the forwarding areas. So ये कुछ इसके एडवांटेजेस होंगे जो कि हमारे पैरामिलिट्री के फोर्सेस, डिफेंस फोर्सेस के लोग यूटिलाइज कर पाएंगे, राइट? Now the other news, High Court presses center on Uniform Civil Code, something which is important for General Studies paper 2, structure, organizations and functions of executive and judiciary. तो एक recent directive ने जो Allahabad High Court है, they have called upon the central government to come up and initiate a process of Uniform Civil Code. This UCC is something which is a long debated. In fact, UPSC has tend to ask the questions on Uniform Civil Code many a times here and there. The substantial question has been asked. ये आने वाले टाइम में भी आपके एग्जाम्स के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है, राइट? So the court has noted जो Uniform Civil Code है is a necessity and mandatorily required today. So what court has said that this is essentiality. We cannot run away from this. We have to make a laws in terms of Uniform Civil Code, which is implemented in terms of marriage, divorce, and many other cases. Many religious sentiment is attached to this Uniform Civil Code. Now, court ने और क्या बातें कही? The Allahabad High Court has said that the UCC cannot be made purely voluntary as it was observed in the B.R. Ambedkar speech 75 years back. अभी बहुत सारी चीजें बदली हैं and we have to accordingly work according to the situation and need of our government. So the court has directed the center to consider the constitutions of a committee or a commissions for implementing the mandate Article 44 as directed by the Supreme Court. और अगर कॉमन सिविल कोड की बात करें, इट विल हेल्प द कोज ऑफ नेशनल इंटीग्रेशंस बाय रिमूविंग द डिस्पैरिटी लोयलिस्ट टू द लॉज विच हैज बीन कॉन्फ्लिक्टिंग आइडियोलॉजीज. हर लोगों की, हर धर्म की विचारधारा अलग अलग है. टू इंश्योर कि एवरीवन इज ऑन सेम फुट, it has to ensure that uniform civil code is implemented at the earliest in this country. Now the other news, that is US expand COVID booster shots to all adults, something which is important for general studies paper 2, issues related to development and management of health. So what the US regulator had decided, they have recently opened the booster shots. Yesterday only they have opened the booster shots and they shore up the protections against the rising coronavirus which is worsening the holidays in United States. So two most important company, that is Pfizer and Moderna, even the FioNTech, the other fintech companies also there. So Pfizer and Moderna, they announced that Food and Drugs Administrations had taken almost 10 states already to offer the booster shots to all adults who is above 18 years of age. For time being, जो भी 18 प्लस है उन लोगों को बूस्टर शॉट्स की बात की गई है. Now BioNTech is the other company, not fintech, just correction here. So Pfizer and BioNTech, these are basically three major company, Pfizer, Moderna and BioNTech. So all three COVID vaccine company in the US are offering strong protections. अगर बात करें उनकी efficacy की, तो efficacy सबकी अच्छी है. None of the patients have died after vaccinations. पूरी तरह से infections के लिए उनको protections मिल रही है. But again, the government want कि ये जो booster dose है ये ज़रूरी है. It was initially recognized for only the older Americans and the people with chronic health problems. But after the FDA, जो वहाँ की Food and Drugs Administration है, they have said that no, we will give booster shots to all adults, that is 18 plus age group. Now the move is expected to span the new norms. The COVID-19 cases, as I've told you, it was climbing up, especially in the states where colder weather is driving the people indoors, right? Immunity is not such that they would able to cope up. There's the reason being that government has decided to give the boost shots. And Pfizer and its German partner BioNTech has argued that the broader booster could tamp up down the infection in a critical period. So essentiality is required. Talking about India, still there is no recommendations from the expert committee. So we cannot expect that the population would get the boosted dose. First and foremost, अभी हमारी जो first dose है उसमें we are crossed the 100 crores. We would be very soon reaching to the vaccinate entire population by first dose. और अगर second dose vaccinations की बात करें तो almost 30% जो population है countries की total population में वो vaccinated है with the second dose as well. Now, time for a climate tax, something which is important for general studies paper 2, government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors. Now, talking about the detail of this editorial focuses upon two important segments. The one is the climate tax, and the other is the level of wealth that is being created in our country and how we can substantially tax that particular people to meet our requirement. So first, let's understand talking about the recent COP26 meeting which was held in Glasgow. तो बात करी जाए तो यहाँ पे emphasize की गई थी इंडिया की तरफ से, तो all the developing countries have emphasized to developed countries to help them in ensuring the renewable energy capacities, right? तो जितने भी डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज हैं उन्होंने डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज हैं उन्होंने डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज से ये कहा है कि आप अपनी कमिटमेंट्स को पूरी करें एंड गिव अस द अमाउंट दैट इज रिक्वायर्ड टू मिटिगेट दिस एंड वी कैन मीट द बेसिकली रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी टारगेट्स. बट ये काफ़ी रिलेक्टेंसी होगी जहाँ पे डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज को देखना होगा दे वुड बी एक्टिंग एज अ सेल्फिश. वाई? बिकॉज अगर पुअर कंट्रीज की बात करें तो ठीक है, बट इंडिया के अगर कंसर्न्स में देखें, so one of the research finding is that the well of citizen in India who are getting richer and richer. So some of the astonishing data, some of the real data that is there, we'll be discussing that. और इस रियलिटी पे एक तरफ जहाँ पे डेवलप्ड कंट्री से मांग की जा रही है क्या फंडिंग करें, दूसरी तरफ इस तरह से प्रायोरिटी है, तो क्या डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज अपने जो बचे हुए पैसे हैं when you can say the due which would be paid them to India or not. So India's wealth report की अगर बात करें as per 2018 Oxfam report that reveals that 10% of the richest Indias had gained almost 77.4% of the national wealth. Again, very astonishing fact. And according to the report, 58% of India's wealth is in the hand of 1% of the population. You can see this is the 1% of the population control almost 58% of India's wealth. Two very promising and astonishing figure which was coming. Now IIFL की अगर बात करें वेल्थ हेरून, दिस हैज सेड दैट 2019 में कुछ ये आइडेंटिफिकेशंस की गई कि 953 richest families हैं in इंडिया में, and it has revealed that this represent almost 26% of country's DGP. जो कंट्री की हमारी ग्रॉस डोमेस्टिक प्रोड्यूस है उसमें खास करके ये जो 953 फैमिलीज है वो 26% तक जीडीपी की कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशंस की बात कहती है, राइट? सो in terms of these, this is equivalent to 26% of country's GDP. Now 953 richest families would be giving government equivalent to 1% of India's GDP. तो इंडिया की जो टोटल जीडीपी है उसकी 1% कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन सिर्फ ये 953 richest families से आ सकती है. And according to the Credit Shishwar, the number of dollar millionaires in the countries has jumped up from 34,000 in 2000 to 7,59,000 in 2019. So you can see there's a sharp increase in the number of people, and India is the world fastest growing millionaire in our world, entire world, right? Now, tax exemptions policies by the government, which was actually not being appreciated with lot more expert. तो यहाँ पे कहा गया है कि जो taxation policies थी गवर्नमेंट की, instead of making exchequer benefit from this trend, people who are actually getting wealthy, उनसे टैक्स लेने के बजाय गवर्नमेंट ने उसको बहुत ज़्यादा स्ट्रेंथन नहीं किया और उनको बेसिकली दे हैव गिवन द रिबेट टू देम, राइट? So one of the major decision that the present government was taken, that was to replace the wealth tax. Government ने wealth tax को हटा दिया and they have increased the income tax by 2% to per household, which is definitely creating problem for a middle class family owner. Then the corporate tax was lower. The existing companies have to pay only 22% of tax as of now. Earlier they used to pay 30%. For manufacturing firms, they have incorporated after 1st of October, और जिन्होंने 23rd से पहले जो अपना ओपनिंग कर लिया है, they would be also getting rebate from 25 to 15% reductions. This was seen, इससे पहले पूरे 28 साल में इस तरह की रिबेट और exemptions नहीं देखी गई जो इस गवर्नमेंट ने दिया. So this is what the article says, that why you are not imposing a tax. No, if you want to meet all our requirement, a taxation policy for the businessman has to be there. A substantial taxation is required, right? ऐसा भी नहीं है कि आप business community को आगे ना आने दें. They should be really motivated to work towards our country growth, but at the same time, the government should be substantially, having some tax imposed on them so that the welfare program can go on and the burden from the normal people can move away. Now यूनियन बजट ने 1920 में डिसाइड किया था कि जो टैक्स की ब्रैकेट है उसको 2 लाख से 2,50,000 तक कर दी गई है, एंड इनकम इंक्रीज अप टू 5 lakh was reduced to 10 to 5%, and the tax of income of 10 lakh was dropped from 1,10,000 to 75,000 only, right? Now why impositions is not एक्सप्लॉइटिंग द इश्यूज. जो अपोजिशंस है वो इस इश्यूज को क्यों इतने ज़्यादा अभी कंसर्न नहीं कर रहे. कुछ ऐसे स्टेट्स जहाँ पे रूलिंग पार्टी की गवर्नमेंट नहीं है वहाँ तो प्रोटेस्ट है, but why the other people are not actually protesting? So first, the state government received their share of fuel taxes directly, and the deterrent in many ways that the state government where opposition hold the protest against the rise of fuel prices. So fuel prices has become a dispute between the center and the states because it contributes substantial level of exchequer to the state government as well. और मैंने सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के बारे में आपको बताया है कि कितनी जो सेस और चार्जेस है गवर्नमेंट कितनी टैक्स लेती है. इफ यू नॉट वॉच दैट वीडियो, डू चेक इट आउट, यू विल गेट द कंप्लीट इंफॉर्मेशन. Now second, the composition of fuel prices, sale and revenue use in the complete subject. But ये ज़रूरी है that government should continue to display a pro-rich and anti-poor bias. से इस बीच में जो गैप है, जो वाइडन गैप है, उसे कम करने की जरूरत है. Depriving the exchequer for some sources of needs, dealing with the issues as important as climate change, which is again very important considering the fact that we have the international commitment also. And such fundamental questions would probably be discussed by the think tanks and the Chamber of Commerce and Industries in near future. And this has to be discussed considering that this is something which call for the sustainable environment and sustainable use of energy as well. So this was about the editorial. Let's move ahead with the MCQ questions of the day. Before I proceed with the question, just to tell you the answers of yesterday questions. For first question, the correct option is C. For second question, the correct option is C. Today's MCQ quadrilateral security dialogue. आपको बताना इनमें से कौन से correct options है. I think most of you must be aware of these questions because we have asked some similar questions previously also. So if you know the correct answer, do let me know in the comment section down below. And the statement goes like, it is an informal strategic dialogue between India, US, Japan and Australia. It aims to ensure open, free, prosperous Indo-Pacific region. So participate, write your answer in the comment section. Second, about the Sambar Lake, it is India's largest inlet lake in the world, or basically in the world, and it represents the depression in the Aravallis range. So कुछ ऐसे peculiar जो geographical locations है उनके बारे में आपको पता होना चाहिए, and you have to only choose the correct option that is mentioned here, and you have to write your answers in the comment section down below. So participate and write your answer in the comment sections. So this was all about the daily news and editorial analysis followed by the MCQs. If you have any other concern, do let me know. I'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching.